show and even on the show. Any conversation that surrounds, oh, as the guest is talking, you have to stop the guest so that the guest does not say some things. It's for me, it's not professional, and I don't do that. If you're a radio host or a TV host, you will understand that. And another thing I need to also say is you cannot use my relationship with you wherever you are to force me to shut down what any guest is saying on the show. That is also not professional. Now, everyone has a right to air out their opinion when they come on the show. That is why at the beginning of the show, the Honest Bunch, you will see every opinion is not every opinion is shared on this platform is the opinion of the guest, not the opinion of the show itself. So everyone has the right to their opinion, and also everyone has right of rebuttal. If someone makes an opinion about you, you have a right of rebuttal. You can either come on the show and say, okay, I want to rebut what this person said, or you find a way to do it. Maybe on any other platform, Instagram, YouTube, wherever. I am not one to. A lot of things has been going on left, right, and center. But I'm going to say this. I am not one to indulge in petty exchanges of words. That's not who I am. It has never been my style, and it will never be my style to drag words with people on social media. I'm not going to do that. Let me now straighten out something. I was not fired from the Honest Bunch. I was never fired from the Honest Bunch. I decided to step away when the attacks became very personal, so that the show can go on and stand them. Succeed even without me being there. So I was not fired. Beyond being the host of the Honest Bunch, years ago, me and the people at Village who sat down came up with this idea of the Honest Bunch. Hence the show and how we drive it to have gotten to the point where it is arguably the biggest podcast. We came together and formed it. But anyway, even on the show, if you are a TV host or a radio host, you have to understand that sometimes people play devil's advocates. That is my job on the show, to play devil's advocate. Husband Material has his own job. Is in the tone, they all have their job. My job is to ask the hard questions. That is my job. And it's also my job to make statements that most of Una they think, but you can't say it. That is my job. And if for nothing, it has encouraged conversation, hard conversations that people don't want to have. And having said all this, all I'm going to say is that it is very, very sad. Anyway, let's just leave that. This is all I want to say about the Honest Bunch. Why this press briefing is based on the criminal or something that was online.
Okay, so Nedu there, the very popular Nedu, now very famous, causing traffic and attention all over the globe at the moment, and it's not just Nigeria. Nedu is trending. Nedu has been trending for a while. Okay, so it's a long press conference, so this is just an excerpt that I could have at the moment. We're going to have a detailed analysis of all of the conversation. Yes, I agree that this is not the most important need for Nigeria at the moment. As I talk to you, Natasha Akpokio-Addo has been suspended from the Senate, and the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, has asked her. So we're looking at all of that in the next couple of minutes, all of that video and analysis. Remember, I spoke to you too about Valentine Ozigbo's defection to the APC. So, but right now, for those of us, I have always said that even if this is not a very most important, but it's important because it helps to look at the characters that are molding our society, the thought leaders, the influences that we regard. So it's okay to look at all of that. It will help. If we want to have a sane country, we cannot just think that attacking political leaders or changing government will change that. All of the things that happen, all of these conversations are important, that will air our opinions and look at a way of finding a balance somewhere. It will help us. At the end of the day, it will help us. So for Nedu, it's good to know that first. I'm happy to see Nedu back on his feet. He's been putting out cryptic messages and posts, a few pictures on his Instagram story. D1 did declare that at some point Nedu should not die. Nedu should not die. And I was scared. And I buried that man in his video yesterday said that some persons told him that Nedu was in the hospital. So it meant that he would have been devastated or hit by all of these attacks. It's good to see him back. I'm going to wait to have all of the video done. But in this particular 4 minutes video that we have, he spoke about the fact that he allowed D1 to talk because it is not in his character, not even professional of him to stop somebody from talking, right? And then the role he plays on the Honest Bond podcast is the one where he plays the devil's advocate, the person that make you talk where you're supposed to, or act like though he's forcing. You know what devil's advocate? What is the worst case scenario? And then anything you want to do, or whatever it's going to be at that point. Osman Matira and the rest of the guests have all of that. And he also mentioned that is a major stakeholder, even in the so it wasn't a staff that was employed by the Honest Bunch. He's a stakeholder. So he wasn't sacked actually, that he stepped aside. I'm also expecting, that Nedu would apologize where the need be, right? Like I've said, nobody, or for everybody involved in this case, D1, very dark man, Nedu, Lucky Udu, because Lucky Udu is also doing too much now. Lucky Udu that used to record content and take 2 weeks to post is now having Mr. World Nigeria recorded and posted in 24 hours. No, you don't like the truth, but that's the truth, right? And I think Lucky Udu should take himself. Lucky Udu, you are not an entertainer. Oh God, you are not an entertainer. And even if you are a content creator, your content niche is very peculiar, unique, and superb. Don't get yourself mixed up with all of this. I don't know how to, because you are doing too much. You are doing too much, Lucky. You are carrying somebody that is a mature adult who is seeking for fame at all costs. You are desperate to use the Honest Bond to get onto fame. You know what? You want to go and be Lucky Udu. Why was VDM mentioned in that particular? Because you guys, you see, Anna, the same thing when I accused of G1 and Nedu for. Now Lucky Udu and that Mr. World Nigeria do. That was what you did. The same thing that you accused D1 or Nedu for, to say you allow, what did VDM, how did VDM get, what was the reason of bringing VDM in that particular podcast where that Mr. World Nigeria, that boy wey don grow, wey no get sense, there was no mention of VDM in that particular place, but you needed to use that emotional blackmail, gaslighting to introduce VDM, and Lucky Udu sit down for there. I'm disappointed as well. As I talk like this, some of you say VDM hater anything, but the truth is, let's tell ourselves the truth. Let's let to isolate truth. See, two truths can coexist. The fact is that, like I said, Nedu should apologize to persons that you offended. If he needs to apologize to VDM, apologize. He should not think that he's a villain. And that's the same thing I said for VDM. Some of you disagreed when I said VDM had no reason call you Jojo in that video. VDM is currently carrying Jojo around Abuja now on what he call apology tour. He wants to pay that. If we do not air our voice and not allow people to speak their mind, because we don't see from the same angle, we don't see from the same perspective. They do apologize, but hold on. Move on. If I will go back to the Honest Bond podcast, nothing will happen. You made a mistake, learn it. All of us learn. I've also been in situations where even if the word is coming down on you, learn. What Nedu should be doing now, where have I made mistakes? What have I done? Don't isolate this case enough to say, oh, what VDM did. No, there are things you need to. Sometimes, my mentor used to say, sometimes you get a lot of hot or stops on the road so that you check back on your driving to know what you are doing right. This will help Nedu to become a better person. Go ahead and do it. But those of you that think that the person you support and follow is a perfect person and you cannot be wrong, no wahala. You are dragging Lucky into mess. You are putting yourself. Chief priest is calling you out now. This wasn't what I said a few days ago. You are supposed to be a unique brand that all of us should rally around and take from and learn from. Now you are not creating. You want to join clique where you don't know where for start. You want to create. You want to join divide. You want to become that content creator. We say people not go dey see. People not go. The way Burna Boy take tag you now, so Davido supposed to take tag you for something. We supposed tag you. Don't go and get yourself messed up. You're a young guy growing up. You will see some of this. I tell people that are close, even those of you that are supporting your favorite, don't go isolate yourself on this journey. You don't know where you go. Okay, you don't know where you are going to. Don't go isolate yourself on this journey. Look at Tinubu. He's not the best person to make as example. This guy played politics well enough that everybody that was doing in this government were his friends. Look at Nedu Ribadu. You know Nedu Ribadu was an appointee of the PDP at some point. Olusegun Obasanjo. Do you know? Are you aware that all of these guys, Atiku, Buhari, everybody were different. All of them were PDP. Anytime you leave, Rotimi, Tinubu agreed with Amici to have an alliance to form the APC. I think I was doing an analysis on that some days ago on live on TikTok. And you have to learn how to build. You are going far. I'm not saying build with everybody, but there's no reason getting yourself into some battles and wars. Sometimes you will lose the battle for you to win the war. I've said that everywhere. Some of these battles are not necessary. So Nedu, I will be happy to see you back. Apologize who you need to apologize to. I'll watch the rest of the press conference and I'll be bringing back details. Then sort in yourself, learn from where you need to learn. There is also an accusation of millions of naira sent to Nedu. I think so much to talk about. So I'll look into that video. I think I've seen it on VDM's platform, and I'll come back and say again. I owe myself some of this expression because we have to do the best we can to keep an eye on societal influences and conversations. Not because we are distracted. I'm not. I'm never distracted. Nigeria is core for me, but we'll keep adding our voice to a few things. All right. So, like I said, let all the information go around. Don't, if you like, use one side to look at this thing. Nedu apologize. Look at best way to improve on yourself. Get back on your feet and be a better person. Nothing spoil. Nothing spoil. You are not the worst person on earth. We'll see you again some other time. Bye bye.